beloved ones. Today I bring a theme that resonates in a very special way with the consciousness of each one of you who follows this channel. It's a space of light and reflection. The title of today's video is Magnetic Poles and Transformation. Be prepared for the event? Let's dive into this theme together with open hearts, with serenity and depth, clarifying doubts, recognizing the signs, and aligning ourselves more and more with cosmic consciousness. We will also talk about the inversion of the magnetic poles, a phenomenon often misunderstood and which stirs curiosity and apprehension. But first, it is essential to remember the Earth's magnetic polarity. Not the same as the geographic poles we learned about in school, the inversion we are experiencing is subtle, energetic yet deeply transformative. We will also explore the tilt of the Earth's axis and how this inclination directly affects the way we receive sunlight. And through this, we will understand how light influences not only our planet, but also the expansion of human consciousness. We'll talk about the magnetic grid created millennia ago by beings of non-light with the purpose of keeping humanity trapped in a kind of energetic quarantine. We will also discuss multidimensional portals, ley lines, ancient pyramids, and the cetaceans, those magnificent beings who sustain one of the most beautiful and important connections between Earth's oceans and the stars of the cosmos. Yes, the oceans are much more than deep waters. They are true energy sources, and as we will see, even plankton. Small and nearly invisible living beings play a fundamental role in this scenario. Shall we begin our journey? We know that the so-called event is something that has long been announced, intuited and awaited by many. However, it remains shrouded in mystery. We do not know precisely when it will occur, nor exactly how it will manifest. Will it be a great happening, or a silent and progressive process? It is possible that it will reveal itself in different ways to each human being, according to their vibration, their inner preparation, their level of consciousness and surrender. The truth is that transformative events occur around us every day. But what if a major event really does happen? Will we be ready? More important than knowing the date, the format, or the external signs is cultivating inner preparation, serenity, trust, connection with the divine. These are the tools that will allow you to go through any change with balance, with courage and with clarity. All future events are part of higher plan. Nothing is outside divine control. Everything is being orchestrated with immense wisdom, within a greater purpose aimed at liberation of Earth and all its children. If this plan comes from the Creator source, then, without a doubt, it represents the best path for humanity. Think with me. Imagine a person who has been imprisoned for a long time, who is suddenly informed that they will soon be free. Would that person feel fear? Or would they feel relief, emotion, hope? This is the true meaning of the event, the final liberation of souls that for eons have been trapped in cycles of suffering and self-forgetting. Let us carve this into our hearts, the most essential point. Not be afraid. Fear is a dense frequency, a break for the soul. It limits perception, lowers vibration, and weakens the power of spiritual connection. The event will be a milestone, watershed, the end of a cycle of intense learning, and with it, the beginning of a new era of light, of wisdom, and reconnection with truth. This transition is guided by the very energy that created us, the energy of the universal source, the force of creation in motion. It is this energy that moves the plans, that activates the portals, it drives Earth's evolution, the ascension of the souls incarnated here. Messages from more subtle planets reveal that many of us are already ready to help when the turning point arrives. If you are hearing this message, you are most likely part of this group. We are a spiritual family, a brotherhood of souls connected by the same vibration. Many of us feel in our homes or social circles a kind of disconnection from others. It's as if we no longer fit into old patterns and routine conversations. This happens because we already vibrate another frequency. We are being prepared to welcome, to guide, to anchor Light-wind chaos seems to take hold around us. You are not alone. We are united. Our role is precious. Keep this phrase in your heart. Whatever the event, when it happens, we will know. This simple wisdom frees us from anxiety. It teaches us that true preparation is internal, vibrational. Even those who have already awakened often still feel that chill in the face of the unknown. It is natural. It is human. The idea of coming into contact with civilizations from other stars, or seeing old structures collapsito make way for the new, still provokes fear in some hearts. But we must remember, no one crosses a forest, no matter how familiar, without a bit of caution. The event brings both hope and uncertainty. It is this duality that challenges us and, at the same time, transforms us. It is time to trust. The messages keep coming. Intuition is sharper. Inner wisdom is being activated. Let us now understand what lies behind the so-called inversion of the magnetic poles. Many confuse this phenomenon with the literal reversal of the planet's geographic poles, as if the north would become south and vice versa. But that is not what is happening. If there were a physical swap of the poles, the sun's movement in the sky would have already changed drastically, and we would clearly notice these changes in the shadows, the daily cycles, and the sunlight's position in our homes. What is transforming air? The magnetic poles, the orientation fields. These fields are used by various living beings, especially migratory animals like birds, whales, and dolphins. To navigate the world in recent decades, we have seen reports of stranded whales, birds migrating to unusual regions. These are signs that Earth's magnetic field is undergoing deep changes, and we, human beings, also feel this. You may have noticed changes in your emotional field, alterations in your sleep, physical sensations. Difficult to explain, these disturbances may be linked. The imbalance is caused to be the global magnetic shift. According to information received by various channels, Earth originally did not have its current axis tilt. This tilt was caused to be external forces throughout history. It's mainly by the so-called archons, beings of non-light. They arrived hundreds of thousands of years ago, with their advanced technologies, directly interfered in the planet's physical and energetic structure. By tilting the Earth's axis, they altered the way sunlight reaches the planet. This light, which once came directly, began to arrive obliquely, creating a kind of energetic shadow that reduced the level of human consciousness. Less direct light means less vital energy, less expansion of perception, and with that, humanity began to live in a kind of collective sleep. It's disconnected from its divine origin. In addition to this physical manipulation, these beings installed a magnetic grid around the Earth, an artificial mesh that enveloped the planet like a dense and invisible web. This grid functioned as an energetic prison, blocking the access of beings of light and limiting the spiritual connection of incarnated souls with higher dimensions. The interdimensional portals, channels that allow communication, worlds, and higher consciousnesses, were sealed. Only a few channels remained. Kept under the control of these invaders, it's important to remember that interstellar travel is not just done with ships. Even if they traveled at the speed of light, it would take thousands of years to cross the cosmos. But the portals are dimensional shortcuts, capable of connecting to distant points in just seconds. By sealing these portals, the archons isolated the Earth. Interrupting the aid flow set came from stellar brothers from other systems. For millennia, we were in quarantine. Without direct access to higher consciousness, Stath could help us awaken. It was only in recent decades, especially in the 1970s and 80s, that cracks began to appear. Small breaches were made in the magnetic grid, allowing some light ships to access our planet. And it was in the last 5 or 6 years that the definitive dismantling of the grid began, like a balloon with holes. The mesh began to lose strength, and the beings of non-light began to lose control, even with their highly destructive weapons, like the so-called scalar plasma weapons, strangelets and toplets technologies thousands of times more powerful than any atomic bomb they could not stop. Inevitable advance of the light, these threats of total destruction were part of what many called the Armageddon timeline, but that timeline was diverted. Light penetrated, the wall was broken, and with that, the Earth's galactic alliance force began to act more directly and efficiently. Pleiadian, Sarian, Arcarian, Andromedan, Venusian, and other origin ships began to surround the planet. A true siege of love and regeneration. These consciousnesses came to begin the energetic and spiritual cleansing of the Earth. The operation started in the most hidden places, in underground bunkers, where the greatest centers of control and manipulation were hidden. From there, the cleansing advanced to the invisible hierarchies, reaching the astral realms, dense regions inhabited by disincarnate spirits that fed on human pain and negatively influenced the incarnated. With the grid's dismantling, these spirits were also removed. From 2019 and 2020 onward, the action began to focus on the dark representatives still incarnated. These gradually lost their communication channels, their spiritual, political, and economic power. With the portals of light being reactivated, control that once belonged to the dark successfully passed to the hands of the light. These portals are not new creations, they have always existed. Many beneath pyramids, on the so-called ley lines, energy rivers that run along the Earth's crust, connecting sacred points across the planet. These energetic vortices are, in essence, small anchoring portals. That's why, for so long, the beings of non-light made every effort to block these places, especially the vortices linked to goddess energy, to the feminine principle of creation. Yes, there are vortices that radiate the energy off, the Father God, the Son God, and the Mother Goddess. And it was precisely the latter, the energy of the sacred feminine, that suffered the most historical repression. This suppression of the feminine, the root of many social and spiritual imbalance still witnessed today. The energy of the goddess, sensitivity, intuition, and nurturing, was erased from scriptures, repressed by religious systems, and discredited for millennia. The Vatican, as we know, arose long after Christ's time. It was created by the political leadership of the Araujo. It also controlled the appointment of popes. It was a meticulously planned system, capable of hiding, suppressing, and controlling true spirituality. Cathedrals were erected over feminine vortices, sealing the portal sound, dominating the entry and exit points off dimensional communication. They knew what they were doing. They held the keys. They controlled the narrative, and it was only with external help from beyond the earthly plane that we began to break this prison, thanks to the divine plan and to the timeline change on Earth in 2010. The liberation of humanity became inevitable. Victory has already occurred in the higher spheres of consciousness. The destruction of the planet or of humanity no longer a possibility. Today, the magnetic grid is Sonder, the guardianship of the light, and it is being used to support the transition. With this, Earth's axes gradually being realigned, allowing sunlight to once again strike with more intensity and more directly on all beings. This light does not merely warm, it heals, awakens, and transforms. Its power is destroying the last remnants of the old grid, weakening the forces that still reascension those who still try to hide in underground shelters believe, in vain, that they will be protected from the so-called solar flash, a pulse of energy foreseen by many traditions. But this flash will come from within and without. It will not only be an external phenomenon, but also an internal activation in Earth's core and in human consciousness. There will be no place where the light does not reach. Even with attempts to block, the sooner divert its rays with artificial shields. As has already been proposed by public figures, nothing will be able to stop what has already been decreed in the higher dimensions. The official narrative may even speak of climate control, of global cooling, but behind this lies the desperate attempt to block the entry of conscious light. And that, my brothers and sisters, it's impossible. Nothing can stop what has already been initiated, the divine plan. At this moment, the multidimensional Portals are being reactivated all over the globe. They are located in strategic places, in the pyramids, in the forests, in the oceans, in vortices hidden beneath mountains and ancient temples, and in the seas. There are special guardians, the cetaceans, whales, and dolphins. These beings are not just animals, they are evolved consciousnesses, anchored on Earth to sustain the necessary frequency for the planetary transition. They are directly the Sirius portal, one of the highest sources of cosmic light and wisdom. Without their presence, it would be much more difficult to achieve the vibrational elevation necessary. For ascension, these majestic beings have silently played a crucial role in the planet's energetic balance. But now, as their mission nears completion, many of them are withdrawing. Some still remain, but they already feel the impacts of the change in Earth's magnetic field. That's why, unfortunately, we witness recurring episodes of strandings and mass deaths. But we must understand, this is not a tragedy. It is merely the closing of a cycle. We do not know if in the new Earth these beings will return in their current form. Perhaps they will come in a new energetic configuration, or give way to other equally elevated consciousnesses. What matters is that their mission is being fulfilled with honor, with love, with fidelity to the higher purpose. The portals that now reappear no longer connect two unbalanced worlds, but only to those that vibrate in the light. The Earth has finally been accepted again into the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Yes, this is a truth that is confirmed in the highest layers of consciousness. The liberation of Earth has been recognized and celebrated by civilizations that have accompanied our journey for eons today. Several stellar races are here, acting, observing, collaborating. Each one contributes with what it has most purely advanced technology, energetic support, vibrational healing, transmission of wisdom, and above all, love, unconditional, fraternal, and universal love. All of them are helping us to complete the purification process that began a few years ago and is rapidly accelerating. The next step will be direct contact, but before that, there will be the official revelation of their presence. Yes, the moment is near when humanity will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that it has never been alone. This revelation is necessary. It will be the first step in breaking the old veils. It is important to understand. They have always been here. Even when the portals were sealed, even when they could not descend physically, they remained vigilant, in orbit, watching, protecting, waiting. We were never abandoned. We have never been at the mercy of chance. We simply went through a time of trial, dark period when darkness seemed to have taken over the Earth, manipulating collective consciousness, imprisoning humanity, system of modern slavery. But this slavery was not mad with visible chains. It manifested subtly, through debt, overwork, fear, thought, control, and the blockage of true knowledge. That was the plan of the so-called Denones to subjugate humanity, dominate its resources, silence it, and spiritually weaken it. But that time is ending. We are now at the tipping point. A new era is approaching end. With it will come the complete reformulation. All the systems we know, religion, politics, economy, science, health, education, nothing will remain the same. Everything will be restructured based on truth, equity, and expanded consciousness. For ages, revolutionary ideas were suppressed, inventors were silenced, visionary scientists were discredited or persecuted. Nikola Tesla, example, was one of the geniuses who could have changed a relationship with energy entirely. Wilhelm Reich, with his orgone box, was already touching on concepts we are just now starting to understand with quantum healing beds. Many technologies, such as free energy, vibrational healing, teleportation, were deliberately hidden. Anything that did not generate profit or strengthen the system's control was buried or distorted. Even today, we see this clearly in every sector of society. Any voice that rises for the common good, for freedom, for expanded awareness, is ridiculed or attacked. Why? Because it threatens the matrix that artificial control web thought is now collapsing before our eyes. The matrix is dissolving. It is being deactivated. It's programmed to be successive waves of light and truth. Soon it will no longer exist, and then will come the great revelation, the true meaning of the apocalypse. Not the end of the world, but the end of illusion. Apocalypse means revelation. We are living that time. The masks are falling. The lies are being exposed. What was once, comes to light like beams, piercing the cracks of darkness. In this transition, we will see changes in the entire planetary biosphere. Some life forms will leave the planet. That is not a cause for panic. Earth's vibration is changing. And with it, life forms also adjust. We will see the disappearance of plants, animals, marine life, and microorganisms. And simultaneously, new species will appear in tune with the new frequencies. In the oceans, besides the cetaceans, there is a subtle and still little understood presence called plankton. These small organisms are true sparks of light in the waters. They are living mindset, floats suspended, emitting energy, performing photosynthetic and bioluminescent processes. They emit their own light. And this light has properties still not fully understood. Be traditional human science. Discrete research already points to bioluminescent phenomenon rivers, waterfalls, and sees some mysterious light seen in nature may be related to these life forms. And since plants also store water, it's possible that this energy is present in forests as well, emanating from leaves, trunks, roots, and flowers. Though we still know little, everything indicates that plankton will have an essential energetic role line the years to come. They will be part of new technologies, healing methods, vibrational nourishment, and interdimensional contact. They were waiting for this time, and now their mission begins to blossom. Just like the cetaceans, the animals, the plants, the elementals, the oceans themselves, the consciousness of the earth. Plankton also have a sacred role line in this journey, and we, human beings, have our individual and collective mission. Each one, their gift, their vibration, their offering. Our stellar brothers and sisters also have theirs, and together, we form a perfect mosaic within the divine plan. Yes, it is a grand plan. It is a luminous plan. It is a perfect plan. And now, we return to the initial question: what to do when the event occurs? The answer resonates within the awakened heart. Do not be afraid. Do it. Not fear the unknown. Trust the flow. Follow your intuition. You will know what to do. And even if, for a moment, you feel doubt or confusion, your inner light will ignite and show thee way. Raise your frequency. Take a deep breath. Embrace the energy of joy. Celebrate. When the event manifests, it will not be a time for mourning, but for celebration. For those who vibrate in fear, there may be unease, but for those who vibrate in light, all will be peace, all will be clarity, all will be love. It will be a reunion with who we truly are, the beginning of a new humanity, therefore. My beloved brothers and sisters of this journey, I leave here my embrace of light, filled with hope, gratitude, and harmony. Namaste. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with spiritual seekers.